Hello, so we are going to work on your core stability in a 4-point kneeling position. Now this is very effective for getting the entire core working. So that's the area from around about here down to your hips. So we'll be finding that scoop in the waist, the abdominals drawing in towards the spine, and at the same time keeping a neutral curve in the low back, as well as a little bit of upper body strength. So if you suffer with your wrists, feel free to give yourself a gentle wrist warm up, including the okie dokie, some figure of eights, a little bit of a wave, some flamenco, and a little bit of very dramatic stop and go. So if that's enough for you, feel free to carry on, otherwise pause the video and just give your wrists a bit more love, because you'll need to warm up the synovial fluid in that joint. Please bear in mind that the stronger that you are across the shoulders, then the easier this work becomes. So stick with it. So we've got the hands lined up underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. If you do still really suffer in the wrists, then roll up your mat or a towel so that your hands are angled and the angle at the wrist isn't so deep. So it's a little easier to do that maybe. Or you can be up on your fists here. That will obviously change the angle of your spine, but I'm sure you will make it work for you. So we are holding that position, we're feeling length in the neck, the shoulders are feeling like we've left our coat hanger in the front of our t-shirt, this feeling of breadth across the front and the back, and a gentle brace in the abs. The feet are relaxed. Lovely. So from here, deep breath in, and then move on an exhale and gently extend one hand forwards. I'm starting slow with you here. Feel free to fast forward if this is elementary for you. Extend another arm and return. If that feels good, feel free to lift the arm on an exhale and lower. Doesn't matter how high you go, as long as you are keeping your spine still and you're not shifting from side to side. So we're lifting one arm, and yes, we are aiming to lift it high, but we don't want you to cause discomfort in the neck. You may notice there's a slight difference between those shoulder joints, maybe a little bit of excess tension or an old injury. Good, keep going, and just bear in mind that the insides of the elbows need to be facing towards each other, not hyperextending and pointing to the front. So we need to keep that elbow ever so slightly soft. Us ladies are very, very good, for example, at bowing in the elbow. Mine doesn't do it too much, but some people, woo, they've got a lot of mobility in those elbows. So keep an eye on those. When you've done your last set and you've had a little rest, and you've done a little bit of this to ease out the wrists, plus it looks lovely, and then we're going to extend the legs. So still here, keeping the abs braced, but don't lose that low back curve. Try not to round in that spine. We're trying to find the length here. I always find a shimmy helps. So extend one foot, exhale, inhale, return. Extend the other foot. And we're trying desperately not to shift side to side. This is hard work. If you keep those abs braced and you concentrate on not shifting side to side, if that's easy and all good, then feel free to lift. Try not to hinge into that low back. So we're keeping this isolated. This area here is not moving at all. Do gently exhale. You may make some noise as you exhale, and that's a good thing. So that's Pilates method, to exhale through a purslet. That helps you to tighten your abdominals against that long lever. So if you do really suffer with the low back, consider bending the knee and lifting and then lowering. So if you know that's a danger point for you, then you can just bend the knee, lift and lower. And again, give your wrists a bit of a break if you know you suffer. If you've had children, you can still suffer with wrist pain for quite some time afterwards, particularly if you continue to breastfeed. So keep an eye on that. If that's a danger point for you, then do adjust things if you need to. So you could do some of these on the elbows. That changes the angle, and it does make people tend to tip and dip in that low back, the abs have fallen asleep. So do keep an eye on that if you are going to go down onto the elbows for that. It's very simple, but it is super effective, and if you time your breath, move on an exhale and return on an inhale, you will find that you feel stronger in your centre throughout the day. It's always the simple exercises that are the most effective. Okay, I hope that helps.